Welcome to Go Get Us Podcast, a podcast about we haven't quite decided yet, but we have to do it anyway. I'm Colby.
And I'm a box of gnats, but you can call me Fee.
Wait, a box of knots?
No, gnats.
No, gnats. Just a.
Yeah.
What are they doing in there?
Just a carton of gnats.
Are they just chilling or?
It's like kind of like a practical joke. You buy just a box of gnats. It's kind of like a glitter bomb.
Yeah.
So like you send it to someone, you open it and like, oh fuck glitter, haha. But like in this case, fucking
It's almost worse. Like I've had like gnats and fruit flies in my house from like one source or another for the past month, and it's driven me insane.
yeah, gnats aren't fun. Or fruit flies for that matter. Are sugar ants. So that's like people who get this gnat bomb are presumed your enemy.
Oh yeah, for sure. And they keep trying to get the person that sent them the gnat bomb like convicted of a crime. Turns out it's not a crime to mail somebody bugs though, so it's fine.
It's not a crime to annoy someone through the mail.
Yeah.
But well, I mean, is it a crime to send like live things through the mail?
No, it's not. Because you can purchase on Amazon just a box of ladybugs.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
I guess if you train the gnats to attack the opener, maybe that's illegal.
Then that's assault with a very small weapon. I feel like that's like a misdemeanor.
Are gnats deadly? That's the real question.
Maybe these ones are. Maybe we've trained these gnats so they're very deadly. But no one believes us and they can't prove it. So because we trained them so good.
Yeah, because the knives are real small.
Okay. The question though is like, so imagine like assault with a deadly weapon, but like a small one, and that's like a misdemeanor.
Ooh,
now,
yeah.
Does that stack per gnat? Because if that's the case, then we've got like 600,000 to 800,000 charges, right?
I would say charge it as a whole because I mean, unless they're attacking with poison knives, I don't think one tiny stab from a tiny gnat would kill someone.
You know, I'm there with you, but I will say this is basically up to the discretion of the judge, I feel like, because there are like there's definitely been legal court cases in which the judge is just like, you know, I could bundle all this together or I could drop like these smaller charges, but I'm going to make a fucking example of you. You're going to stay in prison forever.
Yeah. So okay, to get around that, here's what we do, and here's the best way to murder somebody.
Okay. Yeah, please tell all of Twitch 3 minutes into our stream how best to murder someone.
So we're gonna do. Well, first of all, here's how you do it. You you freeze an icicle, and then you stab someone with it, and then the icicle melts, and there goes all the evidence.
Okay, so I've heard this before, and it's good because it gets rid of the murder weapon. The one thing this doesn't account for is that there's a big fucking hole in them.
Yeah, of course they're gonna see that they got stabbed, but you're not gonna have any DNA of like who stabbed them.
The other one that you can do is if I'm not mistaken, it was developed by the CIA, called the heart attack gun.
Oh boy!
And it would fire a dart made of frozen shellfish toxin. So like, imagine imagine if they froze some Black Widow spit and then they turned it into ice and then shot it at you, right? Like that's what it was. So the toxin enters the bloodstream and you just get a heart attack. And the toxin is like flushed away. Like it's processed very quickly and it doesn't look like anything else. So it just looks like you have a heart attack. Pretty cool.
I mean, that's pretty sick. Not gonna lie, that's pretty sick.
But I don't think anybody else here has access to the heart attack gun technology.
That's why we stick with the icicle method. It's easier for everybody.
Listen, it's very effective. I've used it dozens of times.
It'll be. Don't look into it. I think it's especially confusing for people in Texas where icicles don't normally form.
True. So, they're like, what Circle K did this man get this ice from?
This guy's just freezing ice spears and it's freezing.
To be fair, that may be what leads to your capture, right? Is they're like, listen, it's the middle of July. This man must have a big fucking freezer. Look for everyone that has a big freezer in the area.
And see, that's their fucking folly. Because I'm gonna have a normal freezer, and I'm just gonna have my icicles behind like my hot pockets.
You gotta put them in the hot pocket box.
Yeah. See, and that when they question me, they're like, "Oh, what are these icicles?" I'm like, "Those are popsicles. They're flavored."
Yeah, they're hot pocket flavored popsicles. You fucking Philistine.
Yeah, I'm like, "What are you doing in my freezer anyway? You stupid ass."
Yeah, get out of there, cop.
You don't even have a warrant.
You don't even have a warrant.
You don't even have a
Why
warrant.
would you let them into your house if they don't have a warrant, Fee?
You have to use the restroom. I'm a murderer, not a monster.
That's how they get you. Like that is such a fucking cop tactic to be like, listen, I know that we're not here on like a warrant. Like it's one of those things where like you go into the room and you're like, yeah, I'm not talking to you until I get a lawyer. And they're like, all right, no, I understand. You don't want to talk until you get a lawyer. That's fine. I just like, we only had a couple of, small questions. Just wanted to know like, where you were and, gonna let you go. And then you're like, oh yeah, well, that's it. Yeah, I was totally down on Peach Street the whole time. And they're like, ha, gotcha, motherfucker.
Yeah, that's where the murder took place.
Yeah, that's like total like just to like weasel their way in and be like, oh, like because I've seen videos of people that have answered the door for cops and then they're like, yeah, you can't come inside, and they try to close the door, but a cop has like put his foot in the doorstep so they can't actually close it. And because the door is open and they can like look inside, they can be like, oh, looks like I see a crime in there. I can go in now.
Like it's my living room.
Yeah, they're like, no, is that a weed on the table? You're like, no, there's nothing there. You're making shit up.
Well, like in my case, he'd probably be like, is that weed? And it's just catnip. Because we have the two things are very similar, like looking
true,
like from afar. So he would look into my house and be like, "Oh, is that a weed?" And I'm like, "Oh, it's just catnip." "Oh, we're taking you downtown." I'm like, oh,
"We're gonna throw you in the slammer." Meanwhile, your sister is like high as fuck in the same room, and she's like, "Don't fucking look over here."
Fucking yeah, and they'll be like, "I'm sorry, ma'am. Your brother is just a monster, and we have to investigate him."
Your brother's a degenerate, and he's a bad influence on you. You're gonna grow up fine, and you. She's like, I'm an adult.
What did he do? Well, he liked Rebecca from Cyberpunk Edge Runners, and that's not allowed.
That was it. Yep, it's she's just too gremlin. You can't legally enjoy gremlin.
Well. According to Twitter, you can't. Like, Twitter's, like, really pissed off about it.
How old is Rebecca in the show?
It's not, like, really said, but, like, she's drinking beer, and everyone assumes she's, like, 20 at least.
It says around 20 on the wiki, so that's what I'm gonna go with.
That's what I go with, but, like, people are like, but she's small and she's molded to look like a child. And
that is true.
And the people who made Edge Runners, what's it called, Trigger, were like, yeah, we're gonna put this character in, and then they were like, oh, well, we don't want her in, and they're like, listen, if you want an anime, the lolly stays. They specifically said lolly.
Jesus Christ.
And so that's why people are like, oh, well, you can't like her, and I'm like, fuck, I'm not trying to fuck her. I just like her.
She's just cute, okay? Gosh.
Yeah. I don't think like people on Twitter understand like if you like a character and I mean there's liking like the hentai and what like the dirty stuff, but then like liking like it lumps in with people who like characters because they're cute and they're funny.
Yeah.
So like they're like, oh, you like this character? You like fucking Dragon Maid Kobayashi? You must be a pedophile. I'm like, I like the show.
I just like, listen, the fact that I'm a pedophile has nothing to do with this. Why you keep bringing it up?
Yeah, those are two separate things. Just
don't conflate the two. I just I get where you're coming from. But I also am very much a big proponent of the argument that like, if you're like, oh yeah, this character is hot. No, it's okay. It's fine. She's actually 200 years old. She just looks like a child. You want to fuck a kid. Like, that's for sure what that is. And like that, I was going to say that's fine. It's not fine. Don't tell me that. Don't tell anyone that. Keep that a secret. Die with that inside of you.
I mean, let's of all. Okay, so since we're on Dragon Maids, I don't know if you've seen it. The one that they're mad at is like that short dragon with I think purple hair with just like double F cup titties.
Okay.
And they're just like, but she looks like a child, and they're like, that's the 1,000-year-old one.
Yeah, but I literally I see the one you're talking about. Doesn't matter. Still child.
I don't want to fuck it. In fact, I don't think that character's my favorite. I think the one with the purple hair, like the Aqua Dragon, is cuter, and she looks of age, and I think she has an office job.
I think she has an office job is like the best justification for like, no, it's okay that I think this character's hot. She has an office job.
I like her design more.
She has an income, so it's okay.
She does her taxes at the end of the year. She's legal.
she would commit. She would contribute to the household. Okay.
She's fine. She's legal. But and then there's the one, I think her name is Kana, and she literally goes to elementary school, but she's thousands of years old and is in a lesbian relationship with an elementary school
what? Gross.
Well, I mean, that's what the show. I know they made it into an anime, but it is borderline hentai.
Yeah, I'm looking at it, and like when you told me about the character with the big titty, I'm looking at this character. This character looked like child, and I scroll down. Third row on Google image search is that character with like, it looks like just a top and it looks like a wizard robe, but a cut off wizard robe. After titty, it's just like leg and panty. And I'm like, why?
Well, the explanation in universe.
Oh God, no! Is this gonna be fucking? Yeah, Quiet can't wear any clothes because she has to breathe through her skin. Fucking level.
Yeah. The all the energy and the fire stored in the titties, and the bigger the titty, the more powerful. Except most of the dragons know how to control their human forms, and that one doesn't. That's why she still has like dragon arms sometimes.
I see that. I see a big dragon tail and goofy dragon arms. This is like the ultimate like that's bait cope. Character, right? Because like they're like, this is a character that looks like a child. Also, hey furries, there's something for you. Also, hey pedophiles, this is specifically made for you. Also, people that enjoy big titty, big titty, right?
The funny thing is, I've watched the entire show in its entirety, and it's genuinely funny. The show's genuinely funny, although there are some questionable choices in the show. I just choose to be like, I'm not one of the people who are getting off on that. I'm watching for the comedy.
I was listening to part of the Trash Taste podcast, and they when they were talking with William Osmond.
I don't think they like that show.
I don't think they did either. They were talking with William Osmond about anime, and he was like, I really just don't like whenever they just randomly put sexualization of stuff in there. And They brought up Darling in the Franxx, which I haven't
Oh
seen.
God, yeah, the sex anime, the sex
Yeah,
robot anime.
the sex robot anime. But the other one that they brought up, and I'm really glad they brought up, was Fire Force. They were like, yeah, there's just a
Oh
character
yeah.
in there that just ruined it. And I was like, oh, thank God, you're reasonable. Me too.
I just watched it because I couldn't get into the show. It just and the character who just fall out of her clothes was
Yeah,
just.
she's terrible.
I get it. There are sometimes there's these joke characters who like end up without their pants or something.
Mm-hmm.
Haha, that's funny. But every fucking time this character fights, sure, she's just naked.
Yeah, and it's like the reason why it's uncomfortable and like terrible to watch is that she's clearly like, this is a problem that I hate. Ugh.
Oh yeah. Yeah, she's like, I don't like when this happens, and it always fucking happens.
Whereas like there's I'm thinking specifically of a series that like and I can't tell you about it, but there's a character in it that like is fine, doesn't give a shit, and things like that happen occasionally, and she does not care. So that's, I think, going to be more tolerable.
Yeah. There's another show that I really like that Twitter, I guess, doesn't like, and that's fucking Uzaki-chan wants to hang out.
Okay.
But she is specifically a college student, an of age college student, 20 years old because she can drink.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, she was made for pedophiles, and like everyone's mad because she's short and has big titties.
Yeah, no, I think this is an art style thing. Like, this is how this person wants to draw women, and that's fine.
Like, well, the thing is
very like, it's very explicitly different than like, this is a child.
That's fair. Is it that one anime where like Eromanga Sensei?
Ooh, Eromanga Sensei's a good one. But no, all will be revealed in time, my friend.
I watch almost every single anime, and I get what people like. I understand they're just like, we don't, because of these gross things, but I'm just like, I mean, it's on Crunchyroll, and I'm watching. If I find it like funny and not like grossly over sexual, like super sexual, I couldn't make it through Darling in the Franxx. I saw like 5 episodes. I'm like, this is dumb.
This is bad, actually.
I don't. It's stupid the way they pilot their ships, just in doggy style all the time.
Yeah, it's
and
gross, weird.
It is weird, right? It's dumb. It's dumb and weird. And
I agree.
I don't like it. And I think some people had like issues with Miss Nagatoro, but like I think that's because like sometimes she would like goad Senpai, which the MC doesn't have his name. She just calls him Senpai, and that's how we know him. He don't have a name. Sometimes that he would like accidentally grab her boob because she's like, I'm gonna play a prank on him and put like fucking melon buns under my shirt, and I'm gonna make him grab my boob. And then she's like, oh, the buns fell out, and he grabbed my boob. And I think they're first freshman or like 8th grade. I don't remember.
Okay.
So, like, I understand why people kind of don't like it. Also, she's like really mean, but she's also she's a bully. She's a bully, but like she starts to like Senpai, and she starts to treat him nicer, but while also doing the thing where like, I'm gonna pick on you, which means I like you.
I hate that that's like a normalized thing. Like, stop doing, like, why can't we just be, I don't know, genuine, honest with our feelings, nice to people, rather than being like, I'm just teasing you because I like you a bunch. Fucking stupid.
I don't know why that became a thing. That's how Arnold's grandparents met, from Hey Arnold.
What?
Yeah, that was Arnold's grandparents. There was an episode back in Hey Arnold where the grandpa's like waxing poetically about his childhood, about a girl who would always pick on him and tease him, and tell the teacher that he did things to her, like fucking put ink in her hair and shit. but she secretly liked him, and then they ended up married. And I think he was talking about like Helga because like Arnold was just pissed off one day. He's like, "Man, fuck Helga! Like she keeps fucking
she keeps like ruining my life."
And Helga's like deeply in love with Arnold.
Yeah, and then Grandpa's like, "Hey, you know what sounds great? Being abused and gaslit for the rest of your fucking life. Go marry her." This is the worst advice I've ever heard.
Dude, well, Grandpa and Grandma on that show are actually like deeply in love. They have like a fun relationship.
Yeah, no, they do. Which is why I do not believe that that's how their relationship started. I can't. I
wouldn't. They showed flashbacks.
This is poorly written by a person who thinks it's okay to be abused, and I will not stand for it.
I'm what can I tell you? I can't change the fucking facts.
I mean, I'm just saying.
Well, the new one, the Netflix one, not the shitty 90s one with Dino Spumoni.
Oh, good old Dino Spumoni.
Fucking love Dino Spumoni. He made a career about domestic violence music.
The thing is, like, it's very clear who they were like modeling Dino Spumoni after, but for some reason he feels like more connected to me. Like, I don't give a shit about old Frankie Sinatra, but like Dino Spumoni on the other hand, oh yeah.
I'm a big Dino Spumoni stan.
Yeah, big Dino guy right here.
I'm a Spumoni boy.
Yeah, that's what they call us. They call it the Spumoni lads.
I don't know. Like when I was a kid, I loved his music. Just like what was it like? I can't. It was something about you came into my fucking house and broke all my plates or something.
Oh yeah.
And then I fucking punched you in the eye or something. Like, just blatant, just abuse.
Yeah, just oh god, I'm is it Smash? Let me see, because they've got like oh okay, yeah, this is great. Darling, you left my heart in pieces on the floor. So tell me why I shouldn't break something of yours. I'll smash your lamp, the antique chair, that stupid thing you always wear. I'll smash a vase, the radio, those little teacups from Limoges. It's terrible.
Oh, you broke something of mine. I'm gonna go into your house and vandalize it.
God, that's like this is okay. So this is like a fun thing. Like my dad used to, and I mean he clearly still does and did have like anger things.
Oh yeah.
But like it was worse, if you can believe it, back in the day. So like,
oh no.
Apparently my dad would get like really pissed off, and his thing to like exercise his, to like really emphasize I am very cross was he would like pick up the phone. This is before cell phones, just in case there are any Zoomers out there. There was a time. He would pick up a phone and just throw it against the wall and break it.
Jesus Christ.
And my mom was telling me this, and I was like, Jesus Christ. And she was like, yeah, I got him out of that habit pretty quickly, though. And I went, oh, how'd you do that? And she said, well, I started just buying more and more expensive phones. So after phone number 5, he realized, oh, I'm going to throw away $150 if I throw this against the wall.
I mean, that's a good deterrent.
Yeah.
I mean...
but also, maybe let's work on the anger issues here.
No. The anger's fine. The phones, though.
The phones. That's the problem. We don't have the money for the phones.
Oh my god, isn't that such like a back then like thing?
Yes, absolutely, and it's such a back then thing to tell someone about and not be embarrassed of. Just to be like, no, this is how things. It's cute. It was like my grandmother. Okay, my grandmother.
It's a cute little quirk.
Yeah, this was a funny thing that happened. My grandmother told me this. She was talking about like going on her first date with my grandfather. And she said that on the date, they're like driving down the road. He's like taking her to like some event. And she brought the newspaper with her. And she's like looking at the newspaper at something, and then he reaches over and snatches the newspaper out of her hand and throws it out the window. And he said, "You're on a date with me. You're not here to read the paper."
That's when I knew he was the one.
Jesus Christ. What? Like, damn, son.
God damn. Grandpa.
I can't. That would. I like hearing that story. I was like, "This is don't tell people this."
That's so funny how like like you can pinpoint like that's so back in the day that's normal.
Mm-hmm.
That was so normal for them that they're just like, this was a fun little story and we laughed.
Oh yeah, he was a hoot and a holler.
Just the acts of violence he would commit.
Oh. Yeah, one time he dropped me off at my house, and then he sat outside, and he waited for me to come back out, and I guess I was taking too long getting ready, and then he just slashed my parents' tires and drove away. Ah, what a kidder!
What a jokester! That reminds me of another one of Dino Spumoni's song.
Oh, good.
Which is like something about like I kissed him with my fist or something.
Okay.
Well, let's see. Is it this one? You better not touch my gal. Maybe.
That's a good one.
Let's see.
I'm looking. He has a surprising amount of songs.
Yeah, he has a lot of music, and
I can't like. Because there are some shows where they have like a fictional band or a fictional artist, and like they just have like one, maybe two songs. Yeah. They really committed on this one.
big time. Mm-hmm. Here's the lyrics, and it's not against the girl, so it's like, you better not touch my gal, or I'll pop you in the kisser, pal. Yeah, you better not even try, or you'll be looking at a big old black eye. So listen good, you 2-bit hood. I'll give you that a count of 10. If you're not gone by the crack of dawn, you'll never ever eat. No, you better not be discreet, or you'll never ever eat solid food again. Wow.
Damn.
Dino just out here singing his truth.
Yeah, I mean, listen, how far away is this from like 90s gangster rap? It's not. Written in the same era. Very clearly similar influences.
Well, it was written in the 90s, but it very big inspiration from the 50s.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
which like again, like the thing is, think back to the 50s, right? It's like America has like effectively shown that it has whooped the world's ass.
Yeah.
Bunch of boomers have come back home. Economy is exploding. Houses are about the same cost as a loaf of bread. Like everybody's winning. Just constant.
Had like 10 houses, all cost me $1.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, people just purchasing whole towns on what they make weekly. Yeah, crazy time.
Crazy times. That's why like I'm dirt poor now, but my family owns 3 lots of land. Because it was just so easy to purchase back then.
Yeah. In fact, sometimes they just give it to you. You just look and be like, hey, no one's been here an awful long time. And they'll be like, oh, I mean, I guess it is pretty close to you. You can have it if you want. You're like, yeah, I would. I would want.
I'd love that. In fact, just that's crazy. That's so crazy.
Yeah. But like the fact that like, if you think about it now, even if you just look up a lot of land kind of near a city, it's like $200,000. It's like, Christ almighty, for land that I then have to do stuff on? No, thank you.
I see. Yeah, you're like, I still have to put like digging and put pipes into it and like format it to put a house on.
Yeah. Okay. So fun fact, my aunt did that with her husband. So they bought a plot of land way out in the middle of nowhere in Texas, and they like lived in Houston, and then they would like drive to this land, and they built their own house. They like laid a foundation and like built the walls and like framed everything out. This project, clearly because they're doing it like on the weekends, you know, they're camping while they're doing this because they don't have a goddamn house. They just have like they have some concrete they could put a tent on, I guess.
That's pushing it.
Yeah, exactly. And so this like they continue moving on it. They're like moving kind of slow, you know, it's like every weekend, maybe a week here, maybe like a break here. And then while working on the house, her husband has a heart attack and dies.
Oh God.
And so I was like, oh God, man, like I don't know how you don't see that and are like, oh Jesus, like did his heart give out because he was busy building this fucking house? Like, is this land cursed? But
does he hunt this land now?
And I didn't think too much of it, you know. And then because around that time, some other things in my life were happening around my parents' health. And then she ends up remarrying, and she like my grandmother was like, oh yeah, she's like going out to her land, and I was like, oh, like is she like selling it? She's like, oh no, her and her new husband are gonna like continue building and like build a house and stuff on it. And I went, what the fuck? It already took one. What?
Yeah, the land already claimed one.
Maybe that's why it's safe. It's like the land is satiated. It's eaten.
Yeah, what people don't know is she sacrificed her first husband to appease the land so she could build a house on there.
Yeah, it's actually fun fact. Like they don't tell you this, but Texas soil, you can't have more than one person die in like 1 square mile of land if you're planning on living there. That's like some old Texas magic law. And so like because the one person has already died, but they're still there, now no one can die there. So like you just go there and you can't die.
It's just if you live in Texas, you already know this, so it doesn't sound like crazy. But like people who don't live in people don't live in Texas, and I'm sorry to tell you. If you plan to move to Texas, that's what you got to deal with.
Yeah, you have to make it like a month's or years long project. You have to like get somebody to trust you, preferably someone that's like. Unfortunately, my aunt's husband was like a wonderful guy, and he it was very sad that he passed. But if you really want to take advantage of this, you got to like lure like a rapist into a relationship with you, and then you have to sacrifice him to the land, and then you're basically Dexter at that point, right? Like you're cleaning up the streets, you're living forever. Like there's no downsides, honestly.
Yeah, honestly, like just come to Texas, commit murder. It's fine.
Yeah,
it's fine down there.
Here's the thing: no one is gonna like if you go into a crowded area and someone gets shot. There's like 80 people around you that have guns. Like, who did it? Who knows? It's impossible to tell.
And if you're the one who's shooting, and you better be wearing a bulletproof vest because you're probably gonna get like full of lead before the cops get there.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
It's crazy.
So none of this was on our topics list for today. So I'm gonna segue us into something that I super want to talk about. I believe we talked about part of it beginning of at the last podcast. But
is it anime?
No.
Oh, never mind.
This is Blink 182. They're back.
They're back.
They are back, baby.
Everyone's happy about it. I was reading online. Everyone's happy about it.
Everyone is happy about it, except me. Which is because surprising to hear. Yes, it is exclusively because Tom's there.
So that you shared with me a song on Discord called "Edging," right? And I think it's a good song. I like it. I like it a lot. It's fine. But man, Tom is old, and you can tell. You can hear it in his voice. He doesn't sound like an angsty young man anymore. He sounds like a disgruntled, angsty old man.
Yeah, which like I actually like. I like Tom's voice on this song. It's like a little more mature, a little more gravelly. He's not like going sort of high pitched and whiny, except for like a couple of times.
Yeah.
Like,
he tries.
Yeah. So this song just like we are recording this on the day that it was released. I guess it was released midnight last night, and I listened to it immediately because that's who I am. But yeah, it was just released. Everybody's happy about it. Everybody likes it. Music video is fine. The song though. So you said you like the song, yeah?
The song, yeah.
Yeah. It's fine.
Again, let's see. God, they look so very old. Just, I am looking at this picture, and oh my, is that Mark in the middle, or is that the other guy?
The one with all the tattoos is Travis.
No, the one with the glasses. Travis.
Yes, that's
hasn't
Mark.
aged. Thomas hasn't aged a day.
Yeah.
That's Mark.
Yeah.
Oh boy, Mark.
Mark.
What is...
I look. Wow. Okay, so I do love that. It's once every 3 podcasts or so. It's like you discover that people age. Just everyone's like the Hocus Pocus trailer. Like, God, they look old. No shit. It's been 30 years for me.
It's hard to know like what people look like because I don't age. It's just
it's true.
What is this?
It's true. You know when we were talking earlier about anime girls that like look like they're 12 but they're actually 100. That's you actually. They're all modeled on you.
Wait, I'm fucking what's his name? Like these girls keep getting older, but I stay the same age. Yeah. But like it's just weird like to see oh fuck, just to see them old.
Yeah.
And you're like, "Oh man. Woof."
I mean, the thing is, if we're taking a look at the band lineup, looking at like sort of their appearance, yeah, for whatever reason, I don't know what Travis does or is or like I don't know much about him as I don't know much about any of them as a human. He drinks some form of blood for sure. I don't know what kind, but he does.
Yeah, no, he for sure does. Because Travis, I'm looking at an old picture of them, and besides being maybe a little bit more husky, he looks the same.
He looks more tattooed. He looks more ripped now than he ever has, actually.
Oh fuck yeah, you're not wrong. He looks more ripped now than he did back then.
Yeah.
And I just don't know. It's crazy.
Travis is an anomaly. So for those of you who don't know, I'll very briefly go over how we got to this point. Basically, Blink-182 was a band.
Looks like he just got out of prison.
Blink-182, yeah, for whoever has been in prison this whole time. It was a band that was all together up until their self-titled album, Blink-182. After that, they broke up.
2009.
Something like that.
Something like that.
And they broke up for creative reasons. I think Mark and Travis blamed I think Tom's manager.
Yeah.
And they said, Tom's great. Tom's manager's a fucking asshole. And so they stopped making music together. And then Travis gets in this horrific plane crash where he's on a private jet, plane goes down, everyone on board dies except for him and one of his friends, right? And
fucking luck.
Yeah. Crazy accident. And that sort of prompts them to be like, you know what? We should like put our differences aside. We're all friends. And then they got back together and they made their worst album, Neighborhoods. Neighborhoods is not only the worst album in Blink-182 discography, I would argue it's probably the worst pop punk album of all time. That is a strong statement coming from somebody that deeply loves Blink-182.
Yeah, it's a heartfelt, like, hated statement, because I know you love, like.
So
it comes with love.
Yes. And so they stay together for a little bit, and then they break up again. This time, even more forcefully. They say that, like, basically Mark and Travis are like, hey, we want to keep making music. And Tom's like, cool, go make music. And they said, no. We want to make music as Blink-182. And he's like, yeah, I kind of don't really want to make music as Blink-182 right now. And they were like, you are stifling us, Dad. You've got to stop. So
yeah. So they got Mark Skiba.
Yeah, so they said they got into like a big legal fight and basically forcefully kicked Tom out of the band. And then they got Matt Skiba from Alkaline Trio, and they made a new album, and it's a fucking banger. It's one of their best ones. Great album. I listen to it pretty frequently. I listen to most of the songs on it except for Parking Lot. It's a fucking stupid song.
We talked about it before. Go listen to that.
So now, bring us back to about a year ago. Mark announces he has cancer. He has stage 4 lymphoma.
God.
And, or is it leukemia? It's lymphoma, yes. Okay, so he has this cancer. It's very aggressive. He's in like very aggressive treatment for it. It's the same kind of cancer that his mom had. This whole time, like, he's like sharing pictures every once in a while of like his like his progress, and like he's bald and he's like not having a good time. And he basically just he apparently sent a couple, like he sent a couple text messages to like Tom and like showed like, oh, look, I said this thing to Tom. And then they had like a couple of other things where it was like, oh, they're kind of talking here and there. And then time goes on. Mark announces that his cancer is in remission. So it's all good. And then Matt Skiba on his Instagram is like, yeah, I don't know if I'm in Blink-182 anymore, actually. And then they announced this week, they said Blink-182 is coming back with all 3 of the original band members, and it's great. Everybody is so stoked.
Everyone's so happy,
except me.
I know you're not. And that I mean, hey, maybe they'll make some good music.
Here's the thing. So they teased, we're going to release our like one song on Friday. It's called Edging. It's going to be great. And I'm like, cool. I'll listen to that. I'm cautiously pessimistic about this. And then I listened to Edging. Mm-hmm. It is a B- in the Blink-182 catalog.
Yeah.
It is fine.
That's not one that it can't pass as a single, but it can pass as a, I like this song. Where's the next?
Yeah, so this is a song where if I'm listening to the album and let's say I get busy, like I'm driving, I'm listening to this album, but then like I stop at Starbucks and I'm like grabbing the drinks or whatever, and the song is still playing. If the song is halfway over by the time I pull out of the drive-thru, I'll listen to the rest of it. If it starts and I'm listening to it, I'm skipping it because I don't give a shit.
It's a short song, but I can stand it. I like it.
It's fine. No, it's fine.
What I'm like looking at here is this set photo of them just standing against a black back.
Mm-hmm.
Tom, Mark, and Travis, and they're just like staring. Tom looks like that picture of early 2000 meme of that guy with a big jacket and backwards hat walking in like a door.
Damn.
He looks like a dad trying to be cool with like his brown hat.
I'm gonna fucking tell him you said that.
I hope you do. Tom, if you're listening, come on the podcast. Can we talk?
Shut the fuck up.
I'm just look.
I like that you're God. Okay, so I get anxiety when I have to call people on the phone. If you get remotely an idea that you should call someone on the phone, you're just going to do it.
Yeah.
And that's like the same thing. Like you were talking about like, oh yeah, we can go see Trash Taste live. And then if we get the VIP thing, I'll ask them to be on our podcast. I couldn't think of anything more deeply embarrassing and cringeworthy than doing that. I would never, ever, ever do that. Ever.
I don't think I would do that. I would enjoy to go see VIP them though, but I wouldn't. I couldn't do it to their face. It's one of those. I'll say I'll do it, but I won't. and then we'll be in the car, and you're like, "Hey, you said you'd." I'm like, I couldn't do it.
I was too scared. And I get it. I just so. I guess what I'm saying here is that I like the idea that you think that Tom would have listened to this and heard me being like, I don't know, Matt Skiba, Blink-182 is kind of way better than Tom DeLonge, Blink-182. Just saying. That he'd be like, you know what? I want to fucking go on that show.
Well, let's talk to that guy. Like, I mean, what's better? Like, what's not better than like having a guest come who's fucking aggro and they talk with you and then they're just like, well, you know what? We found some solid ground and he's an okay guy, but I didn't like those things he said. You know, anything to get them here. See, so
yeah. The thing is, like, I can't imagine that anybody would come on a podcast, especially one of a viewer base as large as ours. I can't imagine that they would come on our show whenever we're like, number one, at all. But number two, whenever we've also like disparaged them. There's just no point in doing that.
Okay, well here's the thing, like counterpoint. They know we don't have a huge audience, so what's to stop him from coming over here and just saying some mean stuff to us?
I mean, that I guess the fact that I wouldn't give a shit. Probably.
Yeah, but wouldn't that? I mean, but what a story! You're like, I met fucking Tom through voice chat, and he called me a bitch.
He said it. He said, and I quote, I bet your dick is so small and thin it could sound me. That's what he said. He said that. Crazy.
And you know what? I live by that. That's not
you know what? I tattooed that on my back.
That's my ringtone now.
Yeah, just that over and over and over. You just don't answer the phone on purpose. You're like, what the fuck is that?
Why you never answer your phone? I'm just like, I just like my ringtone so much. It's just Tom calling me. Just
here's the other thing that's rubbing me the wrong way.
All right,
is today Tom also posted on Instagram.
Right. Okay,
he posted a thing that he sent to Matt Skiba. So he sent the following letter to Matt Skiba and then also posted it publicly on his Instagram because he's a fucking cringelord.
Oh. Okay.
I'm going to read you this letter and we are going to dissect it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I have to stop after the first sentence already.
Let me plant my feet.
Yeah, get ready for this. It's very good.
I'm ready. I'm here. I'm here for it.
Hi, Matt. Tom DeLonge here. Motherfucker, he can see your username. You do not have to start with like the Herald must come in and Tom DeLonge is coming to deliver a message to Matthew Skiba.
Like he's fucking writing a handwritten letter.
Yeah. My dearest Matthew Skiba.
My dearest Matt.
Salutations from yours truly, Thomas Delonge.
Sir Tom Delonge.
Why would you start with Tom DeLonge here? Like that, okay, that intro is, I don't know if you remember, in the last season of Avatar: The Last Airbender, spoilers, Zuko goes to go meet the Avatar gang for the first time and he's rehearsing what he's going to say and he just says, "Hey all, Zuko here." That's what this is. It's terrible.
It is. Hey all, Zuko, like he's a fucking YouTuber.
He continues.
Continue.
I wanted to take a minute and say thank you for all you have done to keep the band alive and thriving in my absence. As if he said, you know what? I'm going to take a break from this band. I need a band sitter. Matthew Skiba, I will pay you 12 shiny dollary dues every day that you stay in Blink-182. Motherfucker, what? You were kicked out of the band.
God, he's just building him up to knock him down.
He's building himself up as like, I have decided to grace Blink-182 with my presence yet again.
He's grandstanding right now. Oh, fuck. Go. I want to hear where this goes. I'm on the edge of my seat.
I think you are enormously talented. And then in parentheses, I still love to listen to your band to this day.
Oh.
Why would you say I still love to listen to your band to this day? To me, that implies like, hey, even today, when you're putting out your absolute shittiest music, I love listening to it. Big fan of your band, bud.
He's giving him a compliment sandwich. He's like telling him something he's like, oh, I'm telling you something I think you'd like to hear that's good. Mm-hmm. I'm going to follow it up by fucking bullshit.
Yeah, and just end off. You're enormously talented, for a band that used to be very good, but I still listen to it. I like it. It's fine.
I love it. But
you have always been so kind to me, not only in the press, but also to others. Okay.
All right.
Okay, I guess that's fine, but then he follows it up with, I really noticed, period. He said, he wrote the sentence, you have always been so kind to me, not only in the press, but also to others. And then he said, I don't think that drives the point home enough. I need this man to know that I've been keeping an eye on him, and I've liked what I've seen. I really noticed, Matthew.
I've been watching, and I've really noticed that the band actually feels a lot better having you than me around.
Yeah, I can't have that anymore.
That's just not good. That's just not good for anyone.
I have to come back and change my voice.
God damn it. Continue.
Emotions between the three of us in Blink have always been complicated, but Mark's cancer really put things in perspective. So I like the sentence for the most part, because he's like, hey, like, we basically came up together, we got famous together, and like we're very close. As a result, emotions run sort of high sometimes, and like things have always been sort of complicated with us, but like,
yeah, time is fleeting. Yeah. And I kind of want my band back that you're not a part of.
Except the fact that he says emotions between the three of us in Blink. Matt Skiba was in Blink. There's 4 of you that have been in Blink. Actually, there's 5 if you count Scott Rayner. But like, I'm just saying that like, he's very clearly like, so far every line has just been like, the real Blink-182 is the one that I'm in. Thanks for like keeping my seat warm, nerd. I really like your little project that you do sometimes.
God. Yeah, see, I'm in Blink-182. You're in Wink 360.
I'm in Blink-182, and you're in what band again? I can't even remember anymore. You're welcome for being able to use my name for a while, I guess. I hope you liked playing stadiums, because you won't do it again.
Yeah, I'm glad you got famous off my band. Fucking God. The audacity.
But to be honest, the band would not even be here today if it were not for your ability to jump in and save the day. Like, the band was crumbling. The band was on its last legs. It was so weak, it was swirling around the drain, about to be flushed, and Matt Skiba came in and saved it.
There was no band.
Blink-182 with Tom is 100% Blink-182. Blink-182 without Tom is 5% Blink-182. That's what Tom thinks in here. That's what I'm reading.
He thinks that like he does everything.
Yeah.
His songwriting top notch. No one can match it.
No, can't do it. He's so diverse too.
God. Okay, continue.
So from my heart to yours, Thank you for being a member of our band. Yet again, saying like, hey, this is our band. Thanks for showing up for a little bit, though.
Yeah, thanks for covering for fucking half a second. Our band? He was in the band.
He was in the band. He was in the best version of the band in the past 15 years. You fuck. I just and I'm reading this. I read the article in Variety. There's an article in the Variety that like went over this. And like I took a look at Tom's Instagram because I was like, oh, I wonder if like Matt commented on this. That would be kind of neat if Matt was like, yeah, fucking, we're cool, dude. He didn't, and I get that because I read the letter. But I mean, like everybody that's responding is like claps, love and respect all around.
Oh no.
You know,
do they not get vindictive that sounds?
Yeah, I just like I don't this whole thing and again, this may just be because if somebody told me you're reading what you want to into this because you're an asshole, I would believe them.
Yeah. So like here's what I think.
Okay.
I think that these people that are clapping and holding Tom up haven't listened to Blink since the Blink 182 album, or haven't heard any news or even looked into it since then. So, like, from their perspective, they're like, oh, well, he's just, being a nice guy.
Yeah, it's just he's reaching a hand out, and he's saying, hey, I gave you this wonderful job opportunity, and now I'm taking it back.
Like, they have no idea of, like, the history. These are people that are just like, oh, I remember Blink-182 from high school, and now they're back together. They've been back together without Tom.
Yeah. They like, I think what a lot of these people think, which is fair, I get this, is they're like, I never got a chance to see the original Blink-182 lineup, and now they're going to go on a world tour, and they're going to put out some new music, and I'm going to go to their concert, and I'm really pumped about it. I'm so glad that Blink-182 is back together. And they probably don't even realize that Blink-182 had another album while Tom was gone that fucking slaps, and they haven't heard any of their music in the past 20 years. So, like, I don't know. That's that's my sort of, that's my perspective on what's going on here. And again, Tom as a human being, I think is actually probably pretty cool. Like I've watched a few interviews with him. I watched him on Steve-O's podcast. And like my man is like really genuinely invested in finding aliens and is like, he's done a whole bunch of stuff that like, if you really believe in like aliens and UFOs and stuff like that, you probably love Tom. 'Cause he's out here really putting in the work.
Well, I mean, aliens do exist. It's one of the few things I believe in. Statistically, aliens have to exist.
Yeah, there's no way that they don't. Like anybody that says that aliens don't exist, I think it's because they're. I was gonna say I was about to be rude. I was about to say their brains are broken. It's just because like their definition of life is probably so narrow that they're like, well, there can't be more humans somewhere else, and it's like there could be like fish or some shit. Like it doesn't have to be human. It could be like single cell organisms that we've never seen before. That's life, baby.
Just fucking tentacle creatures or like just anything. Like the statistics are all there. I'm not a math or statistics guy, but the statistics are there.
The statistics are behind us, okay?
That statistically, we don't live in this universe by ourselves with the multitude of planets and universes and everything that's out there. There has to be more life than just Earth.
Yeah. I mean, there's no way that we're the only ones. Like, I get that, like, we're in this, like, Goldilocks zone. Everything is set up to where, like, things don't kill us on Earth as fast as they do on any other planet, right? I get that. The universe is so goddamn big, though. Like, you can't tell me that there's not another one of us out there that we're never going to see, we're never going to hear from, probably. For like, even if you argue that, like, no, aliens have never visited Earth, I believe that. I could get behind that. There's some weird videos and, like, some unexplained phenomena that, like, whatever.
Yeah.
And, like, if you want to claim those are aliens, that's also fine. If you don't want to claim those are aliens, if you want to say it's like some weird shit, I'm also fine with that. But you can't say that there's no other life in the entire universe. It's just dumb.
Yeah, it's just, it makes no sense.
It's math and with an F. Math.
It's just math. But
there's
like,
math.
Like, it's so funny when people like are just like, oh man, I just don't believe in aliens. Like, little green men, that could never happen.
Yeah, little green men? I don't believe in little green men either.
I'm like, there are hundreds upon thousands of planets, like light years away, and we live in one universe, and we have found, I think, 2 other universes, and there just has to be, but no one's like looking for Earth, so why would they come visit us?
Yeah, I like that's another thing is like having a if you think that the Earth is flat and that the sun revolves around the Earth, that to me is indicative of you thinking that like we're a lot more fucking special than we are. And it's the same sort of mindset as like, well, if aliens exist, why haven't they come here? It's like, well, why the fuck would they? Like, what do we do? We made plastic. Who gives a shit?
Yeah, like why? Okay, so why would aliens visit us? Like we don't have anything they wouldn't have. They created space flight, like perfect space flight that they could flow through the universe just fine. Yeah. Why would they visit us just to say hi?
Exactly.
For our resources?
Yeah. There's not a there's not a reason except to come and drill, right? Like imagine you saw Avatar. Imagine if instead of like the blue cat people being invaded, it was the other way around. The blue cat people invaded the humans. That is more likely.
Yeah, for sure. And our resources are fucking fleeting, so like
they would just using them.
Yeah, we just keep using them.
A bunch of aliens show up and they're like, "Hey, what the fuck? I thought there was supposed to be a ton of oil here." Oh, yeah. We Jeff? Do you know where we put all that oil? Gosh, we cleaned just like a week ago, and
I'm embarrassed.
I'm sorry.
If I would have known you were coming, I would have set out a tray. I'm sorry.
Here, just you could have this delicious snack. This does look like a pistol. Don't fucking tell them that.
This is a delicacy in our planet.
Yeah, just you shoot the food into your mouth. You'll love it.
Open wide. Why would just taking these aliens for a fool? But what do the aliens know? They're just like, well, maybe that is a food ray. Fucking
yeah. We showed up and we were like microwaving the entire Earth. They wouldn't try to just shoot me in the mouth, would they? That would be dumb. Yeah, we don't have any. I feel like if aliens showed up, we wouldn't have a sense of self-preservation. It would just be like it's a base common denominator of fear where like one world leader is like, nope, not having this, fucking nuke them. And that's it. Human race gone. Aliens gone.
Yeah. No, the aliens are not gone because they wouldn't just send their whole fleet. They would send one thing. Yeah. Send the nuke.
Even better, aliens just leave.
Dude, like, oh my God, like, and then you'll get so aliens will come and they'll like strike up like something with us, but then you'll have those people like, I don't believe this is just a hoax. Fucking seeing the proof in front of them, they're like, yeah, it's the government just trying to pull the wool over our eyes.
Yeah.
Fucking Alex Jones level of fucking coke.
God, speaking of which, Alex Jones got another guilty verdict. He now owes $900 million to one family, and he's still got other lawsuits that he's got to settle. This man, like,
he's done. He's just done.
Here's the thing. In America, I don't think he is. Like, they can come after him. They can find like all of his shell corporations and whatever, but like they basically have to stay on top of it. And even then, he gets to pull a Keemstar, and I'm so glad I get to talk about this again. Do you know what Keemstar has done?
Didn't he call an old man a pedophile?
He's done a lot of shit like that, where he's just like, he's either like said something really like racist, or his current thing is like he's, I don't know, in his 40s and he like fucks 19-year-olds. It's really gross and weird, and he's very proud of it.
Very.
And so like he's basically this internet sleazebag, and his whole thing is doing drama stuff. Well, back in the day, he had his own channel. It was monetized, and then he got banned from YouTube, and is unable to create a channel and is unable to be monetized again because he basically incited a riot against some people and like really like riled up his fans to be like, yeah, go fuck with this guy. This guy sucks. And I think somebody like may have killed themselves.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. But he's still on YouTube every day.
I thought he was still doing Drama Alert.
Yeah, he is. Now, this is how this relates to Alex Jones. He says that he doesn't own the Drama Alert channel. He is paid to be a host on Drama Alert. So that's different. He's a contractor for that channel, so he can't be banned from YouTube. Like, his ban doesn't apply because that's not his channel. It's someone else's channel. He's just on it all the time. He's the only one on it.
That doesn't make sense. That's
no, it doesn't. It doesn't make any fucking sense. But guess what? It's worked.
Oh my
God. That's why he's still on YouTube. And I have a feeling that's exactly what's going to happen to Alex Jones. He's going to like, he's going to have this big thing where he's like, sorry, let me get my Alex Jones voice. InfoWars is, it's coming to a close. The globalists have finally defeated me. I am gonna have to sell off all my assets and all of my supplements, and I'm gonna be dirt poor. They're gonna see me rot on the side of the road, and I'm just gonna die out there. And then you're gonna see him the next week on a new YouTube channel with a new radio show and a new podcast, and he's gonna be like, "Oh, this is sponsored by the Freedom Network. I don't know who owns Freedom Network, but I am the only show on it.
I don't own it, but
and you know what?
Host.
And they own a nice penthouse in New York City that I live in now, but I don't pay rent because it's the company penthouse, and they bought me a car. No, they didn't buy me a car. They bought them a car that I can use."
It's a company car. I don't know if you know this, but I had to litigate all my things, and these things specifically, they aren't mine.
No, all of these things aren't. You know, the only thing that I own this paper wallet. If you want to take this paper wallet with no money in it, be my guest. And then meanwhile, they like show him walking out of his like recording, hopping into a fucking Lambo and driving down the street, and they're like, "Oh yeah, no, this man destitute. He has zero worth. It's negative self-worth." I just so like
a company buys it for me.
Exactly. That's exactly what he can do, and I'm positive he is going to do. And I hate it.
Don't give him any ideas.
He doesn't need any ideas.
I know, because he's a shitlord.
He
knows. Yeah, he knows all the fucking workarounds. He's a bitch.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say it right here and right now. Alex Jones is a big bitch.
Yeah,
with fucking French fry nipples, and I hate him.
I hate him.
Like, he's so stupid. He's so dumb, and I think, why do people even believe him? He has no proof of anything he's ever said.
It doesn't make sense that he's like, it doesn't make sense that he's so, you know, basically all about it and like so deep in there, so deep in the like conspiracy paint that if anybody looked at him, he'd explode, because he's so shrouded in mystery, and he's discovered all the truths, and he's finally figuring shit out. And I just feel like it's impossible, right? It's impossible for any rational person to look at the body of his work and take him seriously. The problem is, like, if you look at one thing at a time, like one clip, like, this is how people get radicalized to like leaning into far right stuff, is because like caring about people and like trying to be considerate and trying to be like nice it takes effort and it takes a lot of work. And
Yeah.
Unfortunately, there's a bunch of people that are like leftists and are trying to like, I guess, make the world more inclusive, but they're kind of misguided. And so
He's going about it the wrong way.
Yeah. So you say something that like maybe off color or maybe harmful to someone. And instead of like correcting you and asking you to like stop doing that, instead they're like, well, this person needs to die, actually. So like there's things like that which make it like, you know,
that's that's like that one meme that's like the left can't meme.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because like you have these very outspoken people
mm-hmm.
that don't make up the majority,
mm-hmm.
that are part of like the people that you see. They're like, oh, well, see, they're getting really outraged right now. That must be all of them. Like they speak for everyone because they're getting so outraged on something so minuscule. Like
mm-hmm.
it always like that when I bring up like Twitter. It's never the majority. It's just the people on Twitter who like yell the loudest. But it's never the majority. It's not the people who are level-headed. It's just the people who have like no time, like all the time on their hands to just be mad and be the loudest.
Yeah, it's hard. Excuse me. It's hard to like want to stay on what I perceive to be like the side of good, where like you're trying to make it to where everybody gets a fair shot. You're trying to make it to where like you don't have to be afraid for your life, and just by living, right? There's like a number of other things, but like basically at the core, like I want more. I want equity. For everybody, right? And it's hard to do that, and it's hard to get that right, and it's hard to like correct people to do that. Whereas you watch like a 5-minute clip from Alex Jones, and Alex Jones goes like, hey, all that shit sounds pretty hard to do, and you know what? It's using some language that seems a little suspect. Seems like maybe some of these are code words. Now, if you, I'm just saying, I'm not coming out and claiming anything. I'm saying.
I'm not implying anything, but if you roll back the tape and you hear their emphasis on some words, it's a code that they hate America.
It's what they're saying here is that they don't care about your small town. They don't care about the fact that you don't have a job. They don't care about the fact that the steel mill is closed down and it's been shipped off to China. They don't care about any of that. They just want to drink their goddamn cappuccinos and like
they want to drink their soy lattes, and not once have they come out and said that America's great.
Not ever once.
Not even once. So if so fatso, they hate America.
Correct. And like you hear one thing where like you're frustrated about something like sort of in society or like something that's happened to you, and you are like, somebody gives you an out. They say like, oh, the reason why you're frustrated by that is because it's bullshit and it's wrong and it's stupid, and you say like, yeah, maybe it is kind of stupid. And then you keep going. You're like, yeah, maybe, you know what? This guy may have some interesting ideas. I mean, a little bit conspiratorial, sure. But like, and then a month later, you're like, no. The thing is, you cannot walk within 5 feet of a manhole. Otherwise, the lizard people will snatch you up.
Oh, fuck. I forget what they're called. But like people did for a while, like this back then, believe that like red cars were like government people that were like trying to like what's it called, steal you and kill you. There are people like that out there believing this, and I forget what they were called.
Oh, God.
But it was just red cars. If it was a red car and you see like majority of them, that means they're getting close to you. And so there were people on YouTube who believe that.
Of course. And I mean, the thing is, like, thinking about it, I guarantee you that you and I, like, if we just, and we may want to do this for next show, we could come up with a conspiracy theory. Like, you come up with one, I come up with one. Both of them could be completely believable. Because, like, if you have a thing that, like, is, like, kind of hard to understand, or maybe there's some weird stuff about it that like you can't explain yourself. When somebody offers you like a simple explanation and they offer you all of the data to support that explanation, whether or not that data is real, then you're more likely to believe it. So like one of the interesting things is about 9/11, people like to point out the meme of like jet fuel can't melt steel beams. But like the thing is like the situation that happened there, it absolutely can't. Like the thing, planes crashed into the World Trade Center, dog. Like that's
Spoilers.
what happened. And I mean, like, sure, you can like be like, oh, well, this explosion happened like right before the fucking plane, and like it's interesting to like look at that data and to be like, oh, that's or the moon landing where you're like, well, the shadows aren't quite right, but like the moon landing is the fucking easiest one to prove. Because you can legitimately look at the moon and see where they landed. Like, if you have a powerful enough telescope, you can just see the moon landing site. If you have a laser, you can point it at the moon and it'll get reflected back to you.
That's the thing. People that do that, actually, they're like, oh, well, that's just the fucking globe that's over the Earth reflecting the laser. Mm-hmm. And the NASA, the live stream where they're on the fucking space station, mm-hmm. they're like, that's just CGI.
Yep.
That's just a CGI that people are rendering, and it's fake.
That's just Hollywood, baby.
It's Hollywood. I have seen all these things, and I'm just like, people believe this. I'm like, my God. And it didn't become like real to me. Like, I always thought that it was just like bullshit. I'm like, oh, these fucking people. I'm like, of course. Until I met someone that actually believed it in real life. And I was like, they fucking exist. I'm just like, and what's even funnier about that is when, not funny, I guess macabre, but the guy who kickstarted to build his own rocket to prove that the Earth wasn't fake.
Oh, yeah.
And then he fucking built it and flew off and died in a wreck, in a fucking rocket wreck.
God, it's so wild. Like, it's so wild that like flat earthers can get confronted with experiments they can do on their own to prove the Earth is not flat. And they look at it and go, nah. In fact, this is an even funner fact. Somebody on my Facebook feed posted oh yeah, he's a flat earther. He doesn't post that much anymore, which is interesting. But like for a good 3 months there, he was just like going hard on like, oh yeah, like, you know, the people that are like, oh yeah, I'm making my life better. I'm making moves. Things are getting, you know, finally, like things are looking up for me. But he also posted shit about the Earth being flat. And one of them was he did a bunch of, he said like, now fam, you know that I love my math. And that was probably the funniest way anyone could ever start a fucking Facebook post, especially about flat Earth. But he was like, based off of like calculations that I've done with like how big the sun appears in the sky and like where it sets and where it comes up, and just doing some simple calculation, I come up with the fact that the sun, which is a disk, is only about 1,000 miles away from us.
God,
and you're like,
no.
Like I looked at, and his math is like right, assuming that like. He did some equations and he came out with the right numbers for those equations. Those equations don't reflect shit though. So like, it was just seeing that on my Facebook. I was like, yo, what? And so there was a thing like I tried to come back at like one of his other posts and he came back and he was like, Colby, you're a smart guy. Please don't tell me you believe in this ball ass Earth. And I was like, I mean, is the Earth a sphere? No, it's an ellipsoid. It's like it's roughly a sphere. There's mountains and shit. Like, clearly it's not a perfect sphere. Yeah. But yeah, dog, it's a ball.
Like, there's proof though.
That's hey, you said it wasn't round. So that's I did not say that actually. Oh no, come back.
We know where the sun is relevant to the Earth. We're a third planet away from the sun. We know how far it is away from us.
Yeah.
And if it was as close as he said it was, we'd be living like on a fucking volcano.
Yeah, well, the thing is, his calculations say that the Earth is much closer, or the sun is much closer, but it's also much smaller.
It's not though.
Oh, that's where you're wrong. It is. It's a small disk that floats in the sky, and it revolves around the Earth.
I know.
And
oh God.
It's you know what? And it's fine. And he did the math. So he's right.
Don't tell me he believes that we fucking float around in space on a turtle.
God, I don't think he got that far.
We live on it's turtles all the way down, baby.
Mm-hmm. Just a turtle on a turtle on a turtle. The thing is, there's almost, I gotta wonder if like regular flat earthers, I call them regular flat earthers, like somebody that just believes the Earth is
normal flat earthers,
the normal ones. I wonder if they like have tiers in their mind where they're like, oh yeah, the Earth is definitely flat, but like the people that think there's an ice wall around it, they're fucking stupid.
Oh my God, because they looked at the fucking flag and they're like, that's actually what we look like from the top.
That's it. It's just ice, baby.
That's what my old supervisor from way back in the day believed, that it was an ice wall.
Of course.
And what is it? Is it Australia isn't real?
Yes, Australia. Yeah, or New Zealand isn't real. One of the two.
One of the two. It's either one or the two. Australia or New Zealand isn't real. And whoever lives there is just an actor.
Listen,
unquote live there.
This is what noted scientist Robert Matthew Van Winkle was telling us about. Robert Matthew Van Winkle, also going by his other professional name as Vanilla Ice. He did say Ice Ice Baby, and he was trying to tell us about this big fucking wall, and no one listened to him.
No one, not a soul, not one soul.
To Dr. Robert Van Winkle, no one.
Professor Winkle was there the whole time, spitting facts.
He's been saying it since the 90s.
Like that's some Alex Jones conspiracy fucking shit.
Yeah, Dr. Van Winkle's the funniest. Dr. Van Winkle, like just invite him on the show. Dr. Van Winkle, thank you for coming. It's like the camera pans to Vanilla Ice and he's like tucking money into his jacket. Oh yeah, no, whatever you said. I said that. Yup.
Yep, that song Ice Ice Baby Flat Earth. That's what I meant.
Yep. That's and a big ice wall, and the ice made out of moles. Alex Jones is like, yeah, the mole people are frozen in the wall. It's just like Attack on Titan.
Yeah, you know that. Yeah, they're teaming up with the Chuds. Fucking
God. Jesus Christ. I can't
Chuds are funny.
Yes, I agree. So yeah, I'm really glad that we talked about Alex. Fuck Alex Jones.
Fuck that guy. We're almost at time, and we did want to talk about Chainsaw Man.
Yes, it finally happened. Episode 1 came out just days ago.
I'm dubbing it Chainsaw Man Tuesdays.
Hell yeah, Chainsaw Tuesdays. Chainsaw
baby.
Tuesdays.
It's so good.
It's so good. The okay. God, where to fucking begin?
The beginning.
The intro
good.
Is good.
Yeah.
There's one part in it that made me laugh out loud.
Is it fucking our boy what's his name?
Denji?
Denji getting walked on the beach like a dog?
No.
Oh, okay.
Although that is very good. It's the part where it's the part where keep in mind, this is the intro to the show. This is the first thing that you see of this show. We know zero of these characters, but they pick a random girl to zoom in on, and then the word power comes up. Fucking love that part. It's very, very funny to me.
It's a very good intro. The animation's good. It's like it's not 2D. The animation isn't 2D. It's CG, almost like Beastars, but better animated.
Yeah, like it almost, there were a couple of like uncanny valley moments where I was like, is this hand animated? Is this not? Because it almost looks like they did 3D animation, but then they hand traced some of it, so it kind of looks like it's rotoscoped almost, but rotoscoped to a 3D model.
Yeah, there is some rotoscoping going on, and you can tell. I can tell when he goes into Chainsaw Man that there is some rotoscoping.
So if you don't know the story of Chainsaw Man, we're just every week we're going to be talking about Chainsaw Man. Fucking get ready for it.
For the next like 2 months.
Spoilers for the episode 1 of Chainsaw Man. Denji is a poor young man,
down on his luck.
Very down on his luck. He has sold his right eye, he has sold a kidney, and he has sold his testicle.
Yes,
because
his dad owed the mob money.
And that debt got passed on to him. They basically said, we're going to kill you if you don't pay us this money.
And so since he was a child, he's been doing jobs trying to just give them money to appease them. And he lives day by day, just very poor, very hungry. And then he meets a demon, because demons exist in this world.
Yeah. So at his dad's funeral, after the Yakuza drive away and are like, yeah, you owe us money or you're going to die. He's sitting there. Number one, his dad killed himself.
Yeah. Very graphic.
Yeah.
By the way, the show is very graphic.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
With the name like Chainsaw Man, you wouldn't want it any other way.
Yes. And the violence is like almost, I don't know. It's not necessarily like glorified, or it's like, because you could tell the difference between violence in watching like Chainsaw Man and Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk is like, this man's head got blown off. Here is his fucking brains.
Yeah, I did that earlier on the game. But I what's it called? There was one scene that was unsettling to me. I'll talk about it later when it comes up. But I knew it was coming. And I knew what it was. But to see it in motion kind of was actually took me aback because of how it happened.
Yeah.
But we'll get to that later. So.
Yeah. So we're we're following him in his adventures. He meets this chainsaw dog. This dog
Pochita.
is the chainsaw devil. Yeah, he's named him Pochita. And they're like, this chainsaw dog has been shot and is dying, and he's like, oh, you're a devil. Here, bite my arm. You drink blood to live, right? So here, bite my arm. But this is a contract. Like,
yeah,
I'm gonna help you, and then you got to help me too.
Yeah, but I'll take care of you. So
yeah, and so from that day on, he is poor as fuck, but he has his best friend, Chainsaw Dog.
Yeah, and they hunt demons, but also like saw wood and lumber and do odd jobs, because just killing demons and giving bodies to them doesn't pay all the bills.
Yep,
and like he's practically left with like $20 a day.
Yeah, it's like $20 for like a week or two. Like he is
week.
Eating like one slice of bread a day. Like that's his
ration. And not even the whole. He fucking shares it.
Yeah, he gives some to the chainsaw dog. It's beautiful.
It's cool. Yeah, you love him.
Yeah, he's great. And then he gets another devil hunting job for the Yakuza.
Yeah. Also, sorry to cut you off.
Yeah.
His one, because he's never like really had a childhood or like a normal life. His one dream is just to have a loving relationship.
Yeah.
With a girl, and feel some boobs.
He wants to have a relationship, and it's the cutest shit. He's also like, man, I hear that sometimes with their bread, some people have jam. Doesn't sound cool? Yeah. One day we're gonna get jam and put it on this bread, and we're gonna both eat bread and jam.
Yeah.
Very simple dream, this man.
it's sad and like real simple because you're like, well, I got jelly in the fridge. Just like you take your he loves everything like he doesn't get it, and it really makes you feel like you're taking stuff for granted. So
Yeah.
continue.
So he gets this job from the Yakuza. They say like, hey, there's another like you got to get in the car. They bring him out to this warehouse. It's in the middle of the night. He shows up.
Sketch.
Yep, very sketch. He shows up a chainsaw dog, and the weird thing is, the main guy, the main Yakuza guy, is the one who's like leading him in, like, and he's like, where's this devil? Like, do you think it's gone? I can't see it. Like, where is it? And then basically Yakuza Man reveals that he's made a deal with the devil that is in this warehouse for more power, because being a Yakuza is not enough.
It's never enough. Yeah.
So
well, like it was kind of a double-edged sword that the demon didn't tell like the Yakuzas about. Yes. Or maybe he did, and like they just didn't care.
They said like, fuck it, because he basically was like, oh yeah, I'll give you a little bit of my power. You will become zombies though.
And they were like,
that's
a good deal to us.
Yeah, sounds good actually. This sounds actually kind of sick.
Yeah, this is a good deal. And so like after he tells Denji this, immediately a zombie stabs him through the fucking chest and like Puchida, leaving him like for dead. And Denji's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And then Big Bad Demon reveals himself.
Yep.
And you find out it is Zombie Devil.
Yep. That's the zombie devil.
And they're just like, so we're gonna start controlling everyone in this area. We're gonna kill them and turn them into zombies. And I'm gonna rule this area, and we can't have any witnesses. And so he's like, "Zombie, you Yakuza, kill him." And Denji's like fighting for his life, and he's backed into a corner. And then all the like zombies like horde onto him, and then they're just like, "Yeah, kill him and cut him up into little pieces." And this is the part I was talking about because when I read it, I was like, "Oh, dude, that that sucks." But like seeing it in animation and hear his fucking horror, like horrific cries of agony, are like two different things. And then like the next scene is just body parts in a dumpster, and him fucking dead. And you're just like, whoa! You're like, this is a fucking intense first episode.
Yeah.
And
like,
if you don't.
And he's also like, after he gets stabbed, he tries to run away. But he can't. Like he looks stabbed. He's like stumbling and like is trying his best to get out, and he just can't.
He did. And after like he's getting stabbed, he just comes to grip with like he's like, I guess I wasn't meant to have this life. He's just like, oh well.
Yeah, and then like the other sad part of that realization though is that he's like, yeah, I mean, these guys gave up their lives to like for a little bit more power. Why couldn't I? Like, I had a good life with my dog. I could have just been happy with that. Why did I have to dream of bread with jam?
Yeah, and he was just like, these guys wanted power. I just wanted a normal life. He like, why was I given the shit end of the stick? Making Denji like really relatable.
Yeah.
He's just like, they get all this and I get stuck with this shit ass life. And then it flashbacks to him like having this real close moment to like Puchida, just coming grips with his mortality. He's like, odds are I'm not gonna, live forever. The Yakuza's probably gonna kill me off. But you know what, Puchida? I heard that demons, they can take human bodies. So after I'm dead and buried, I want you to take my body and live the life I wanted. And then in their dying, I guess, while he's in pieces in the dumpster, some of his blood falls into Puchida's mouth, and Puchida's like, I guess gets into Denji's like head and like, hey man, you've been real good to me, dude.
Mm-hmm.
And I enjoyed the time we had together, and I liked that you talked to me all the time. And I'm gonna give you a second chance. You're gonna take my heart,
Mm-hmm.
and you are gonna make a badass life, and you better live it.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's when you see the body parts start to connect.
Yeah, so in between these disparate body parts where you can see the inside of like the muscle tissue and all that, you then see very cool fucking threads of a chainsaw start to like pull them all together.
Yeah,
It's very sick.
it's really sick. And then that's when you fucking he comes out, and then the zombies are just like, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
They're like, zombie demons like, oh, I guess the demon took over his body, so y'all go eat him, because if y'all eat him, there'll be nothing left.
Mm-hmm.
And then you see him like say something, and then he pulls the fucking chainsaw thing. Then you hear that low rumble, and then fucking he sprouts chainsaws from his arms, and he gets the cool chainsaw head.
Yeah, like it's the sickest shit because like he's like, you're standing in my way, I'm gonna kill you, and then he pulls the cord. He now has a cord coming out of his chest that he can like start the chainsaw with. He does that, but then all the zombies mob him. So like he's got a pile of like 20, 30 zombies just on top of him. And God, like I love the sound design. I didn't even think whenever like they announced that there was going to be an anime, I didn't think at first, oh shit, the sound of a chainsaw is going to be so fucking good. But like, they nailed it. Like the music is happening, and then you just hear that low rumble while these zombies are very clearly trying to eat him, and then he just fucking bursts out, chainsaws everywhere. It's sick.
Yeah, you hear the boom, 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 just fucking revving up, dude.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so fucking good. And it's so cathartic.
Yeah.
Once he starts fucking just mauling these and then it's also so good that when he's doing it, the chainsaw demon's like freaking out.
Yeah.
And then fucking Denji goes in and just kills the shit out of him.
Yeah.
And then after he's dead, the zombies are still just there, and they're like, oh fuck, and then they start to try to kill him, but then Denji's just taking them out one by one.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so fucking good, and you just see him like cutting up zombies and like kicking them and fucking, it's good.
Yeah, he's having a great fucking time. And he ends up so he ends up basically murdering everything in here. But there's a smash cut basically. Where he's just murdering these fucking zombies, and then it cuts to the next morning. And you see a car pull it. Like, that's one of my favorite things about this is like, this show is good at letting moments like this breathe. So like this car slowly pulls in, and then you see 3 people get out of the car and like start walking up to the warehouse, and they go in, and you see that like everyone is dead except for Denji, who is still in chainsaw mode.
And he's just standing there amongst all the fucking violence and vitriol.
And that's whenever you're introduced to, there's 3 characters, and one of them is a girl with a long pink braid, and she walks directly up to him. Basically, the people that are with her are like, oh, is he the one that did this? Or is this like is this another devil? Like he's probably a devil. We should probably kill him. And then
because they're part of the city demon hunters.
Yeah, they're basically the Department of Public Safety has a demon hunter division. And so she walks up to him and she's like, no, he's not a devil, actually. He smells different. He's something that's not quite human, but also not quite that.
Which I guess is normal for them, but that context will come later. But also, like, what's funny is like she walks up to him and he's like, hey, tell me what you want. And he's like, I just want you to hug me. And then, she fucking hugs him. And then that's when chainsaw form comes off.
Yeah. And it's like, my favorite thing about this is like, it's a pretty sweet scene because like this whole episode is like, here's Denji. His life is absolutely fucking miserable. And at every turn, things have just gotten worse and worse and worse and worse until he's hit rock bottom, when he's in a dumpster in many different parts. And then he's able to get his revenge, right?
Yeah.
But he's like his best friend. The dog is basically now part of him, so he doesn't his friend is basically gone.
Yeah. And he's sad about that too.
Yeah, he's pretty bummed, which realistic. Which good. So that basically you're like, okay, things are sort of looking up for him. And then out of nowhere comes this pink-haired braided angel that shows up and hugs him and is kind to him and
offers some breakfast.
Yeah, and so my favorite thing about this is the things that she's saying, the way in which she's saying them are so nice. She's very even toned and very much I wonder. He asks, she basically offers him a job, and he asks what's for breakfast, and she's like, I wonder. Well, I guess bread and jam with butter and salad, maybe a dessert. I don't know. And
maybe
you're you're like, oh wow, okay. So she she is immediately just offering this man his dream.
Just right there
in the nicest way possible. But
well, also backhanded because she's like,
yes,
if you don't take the job, we'll kill you.
That's my favorite part about this is she says basically you can either live as a devil and I will kill you immediately, or you can live as a human and I will keep you. Now, she doesn't say I will let you live, you can be free. It's I will keep you. I will own you. She is and just as nice as can be, just saying, I am going to own your life if you continue to be alive. And it's just she's so nice, and the things that she's saying are so good, but there's just this undercurrent of threat. Very, very weak. I own you, you're going to be my property. Just a very subtle, and you're okay, I'm going to keep an eye on you.
But I mean, and you know where it's going because you've read the whole manga. I've read some of it. I know that things aren't what it seems there, so.
Yeah, well, I mean, things are different, especially with the the whole department. There's a bunch of cool shit. I can't wait. The next arc is actually one of my favorites.
The next episode when we meet the blood devil. I can't wait because she's really cool.
She is really cool. She's one of my favorite characters. There's a number of favorite characters, but there's gonna be an arc inside of a hotel. It's my favorite.
Hey, yeah, we talked about that. The fucking haunted hotel that won't let them out.
Yeah. Oh, so good.
It's really good.
The best resolution too. God, I love it.
I haven't read that far yet.
Oh yeah, you were gonna be like, wow, okay.
But that's it for the episode, and it's such a good episode and a good introduction. And you for a big production, first of all, Chainsaw Man was a sleeper hit manga, and then everyone got into it, and then they were like, "Fuck, this is good," and it finished, I guess. And then for a big production like Chainsaw Man, you hope that they don't botch it, and I'm here to say that they didn't.
Yep.
And I'm here for it until it finishes, and I hope it they keep making it for a couple of years.
So far, episode 1, not botched. Pretty fucking good, actually.
They really did it. They pulled it together and they fucking did it. So I'm happy. I'm happy to report that. Go watch Chainsaw Man. And because every week we're gonna talk about the episode that comes out.
Yeah, and they're not all gonna be as exhaustive as explaining every scene that happened in like this one. We're just very excited this time. We're gonna go over the best parts, why we liked it, cool shit like that. But
we had to, because even when it first came out, it crashed Crunchyroll. And I had to, after I saw it 2 hours after it premiered, I in Discord, I was like, fucking Chainsaw Man came out and it's good. And then Colby threatened me.
Yeah, it's true. The thing is, here's what Fee did. Fee has a tendency to say, Like, I really, really enjoyed watching this thing, and then gives 2 details about the thing that I didn't want to know. And that happens almost every time. And so I have had to be like, just fucking stop saying things. Say literally nothing. Fee got away with 1 this time. You did say, I like Chainsaw Man was amazing. There was a Big Lebowski reference. And I was like, what fucking okay, stop talking though.
That's right. There was a Big Lebowski reference in the opening. In the opening, there's a Big Lebowski reference. I don't know if you caught it.
No.
When they're bowling.
Oh yeah. When he has like the thing. He's like cleaning the ball.
Denji's cleaning the ball like the guy from Big Lebowski.
Yeah.
So that was fun for me. I fucking had to rewind it and laugh again. But yeah, name one other anime I've spoiled. I haven't spoiled any anime for you.
Okay. I will return next week with all of the things that you've spoiled me in 2022. How about that?
I do want to hear it because then I'll be able to defend myself.
Okay.
But next week I guess you could do that, and then we can do conspiracy theories.
Oh yeah, baby.
All right. Well, that's the end of the show. That's all we wanted to talk about.
Yeah, you can catch us on any podcatcher, the one you're listening to, anywhere. Twitch.tv is where twitch.tv/GoGetUsPod is where we record this podcast live. We're live right now. Follow us there to get notifications on whenever we're going live, and you can join the podcast live and talk and chat.
Yeah, talk and chat. We won't talk back, of course, but I mean, who knows? If we get enough people to watch, we'll have a before the record session and maybe an after.
Yeah, and if you have if you have a I don't know, like a funny thing to say, I'll steal one of your jokes. I don't give a shit. Plagiarism's cool.
Fuck yeah, I'll do it. I'll do it any day, all day.
I do it right now. I've been doing it this whole time.
Exactly. I've been doing it since I was born.
And you can also watch the replay of this stream, and as a result, the whole podcast on YouTube. Look up Go Get Us on YouTube, and we are going to be there.
Yeah, we're there. But if you want to listen to all the episodes, you're going to have to go to like Spotify or any of the other podcatchers, iTunes, Spotify, any other thing. Mm-hmm. All the episodes are there because Kobe hasn't uploaded the first like 1 through, I don't know, 25 on YouTube.
I think I uploaded 1 through 12 or something. And then
I think you
stopped.
I think you uploaded like just episode 13.
I may have also done that. That also does sound like me.
So, but you can go there and find a nice catalog of just a backlog of our recordings.
God, I thought you were going to say you could find yourself a nice boy.
I mean, if you're into that, you can find yourself a nice boy.
Yeah, he's right here. If you're looking at the screen, left. My right. Your left.
Oh, yeah.
Look at this nice boy.
Look at this nice boy. So, with all that said and done, go follow us, go like us, go thumbs up, star, just everything, just net positive, just everything. And with that being said,
yep.
I want you to get Alex Jones, and I want you to put him in a room with the demon so he can make a contract. And I want you to make a contract with the chainsaw demon and go get him.
Go get him!
I don't believe in these devils.
This is the hologram.
Could you imagine if demons and devils just existed like that world? Alex Jones would be the first to say that they don't.
Yeah. No. They're definitely they're not they're government employees. You don't need to be scared of them. They're just trying to control you with fear.
The White House and the Democrats are controlled by the devils. Mm-hmm. They're the only ones that exist. Yeah. The pot-belly goblins.
Yeah, pot-belly goblins. I want that to be a new villain instead of fucking Chainsaw Man is like, it's Chainsaw Man versus the Potbelly Goblin. Fuck.
hobgoblin in the White House. Fucking... Son of a bitch. Bye.
Bye.
Fuck.